Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to quickly, first of all, share a tip with you on an alteration. Now, this outfit has been bought in for an alteration. It's quite an expensive outfit. It's for a wedding, and I'll give you a full lowdown on it after I've done the alteration. Now, the alteration that we're going to do is the person that this has been bought for. She's quite slim and it's way too wide, and they're very short on time, so I suppose they found this and they've really liked it, and now it needs to be amended. Really, for the girl's build, the neckline needed to be just a little bit smaller, but if I take it in on the original seams, the way it was, it had no shape, and it would get ruined. So what I'm going to do is I've opened it up. I've taken the sleeves off, and I've opened it up, and I've cut into this side. I'm going to cut into this side as well. I'm not going to bother unpicking the overlock. I've done the other seam, but I'm not going to unpick this seam. I'm just going to, because I'm going to re-overlock it, and then this will get taken out. So I'm going to take this down. I'm not going to go all the way down, about just past the hip mark. So about 14-15 inches from the armhole. And then I'm going to re-stitch this back up, but it's really the back one that I'm really going to tighten. So I'm going to bring this seam in quite a bit, and take the dress in quite a bit from the back, so that the front is still, and it's sort of like slightly pulled back, and she still has a lot of the front left. So once I've done that, I'm going to tighten the sleeves slightly as well, and then refit the sleeves back in. So when it comes to tightening clothes, don't just seam around the waist area with both the fabrics together, because that will not give you a good fitting. So if you want a really, really good fit, then take the time out, especially on outfits like these, which are quite fancy. Unpick and then cut into it, and then from the back, narrow the back up quite a bit, so that this part of the kameez is actually pulled and takes the seam, side seam, sort of more curved towards the back. So that's my tip for you. Actually, before I go, I'm just going to point a couple of things out. Majority of the time, the sewing that I do, believe me, I do know what I'm talking about, having messed around and done sewing for such a long time. Now, I know a lot of people find criticism with the videos, and often I get some really nasty remarks on the videos, and then odd times I actually get really annoyed, and I do reply to those odd remarks. And actually, it's not personally for myself. I'm not bothered what anybody says, whether they learn. If you are genuine about learning, then you know what, the only way you'll succeed in learning is to be humble and to take the advice of the teachers. Perhaps years ago I wouldn't have said all that, and having gone back into education myself, you know what, nothing gets into the system, and you absorb nothing until you become very humble in the learning and actually stop the criticism of your teachers and your elders, because the minute you start to do that, the knowledge will actually just leave you. So anyway, for anyone who's offended, by all means, if I'm saying anything, I assure you it's for your own good, because if you are genuine about learning and if you want to learn from me, then you are going to have to put up with my talking, because majority of the time the talking I do is in regards to a lot of the clothes that I actually alter, and without explanation and actually going into the root of, if I'm going to, okay, what possessed the person to buy this, and often I do go into really deep down the reasons and so on. There is one particular video, if you're interested on what this argument is about, is actually a video that I did in Urdu a good while ago, probably 2-3 years ago, and I'm doing some cutting and I'm talking in Urdu, and the whole reason behind that video was it was a very sort of a dull looking suit that I was making because something had happened in close family, and I was going there and I was finding nothing to wear. Now, silly as it is, we often have that problem where we're going to a particular occasion and we haven't got anything to wear, and then we start panicking. And I was actually talking about giving advice on that. So anyway, if you got annoyed, it's a tough luck to you. And if you enjoy the videos and don't mind me talking, and if you do mind me talking, there is always the mute button. But I tell you, videos can become very, very boring. And I personally, you know, when I started doing the videos, I used to have music in the background because I used to hate talking. And now tables have turned and you can't stop me talking. And people hated the music, and they hate me talking. What can you do? Anyway, no win situation. So anyway, I'm gonna do a bit more to this suit, which I will be showing you the whole completed finished result. So join me again, inshallah, and take care, and I'll see you again soon.